Hello, beautiful and beloved ones, and welcome back to many of you. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And if you don't know about that strange title, or even if you just want to get the message, stick around to the end. I'm going to give you a special message about this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness that has never happened before for an entire planet. So this is exciting. But first, we're going to start with Alip Still Got the Blues, which is a Garry Moore song. I first saw him just a few weeks ago, and how extraordinary was he? Unfortunately, he passed away, so that's a sad loss we have. But let's see what Alip does with Garry Moore's song. Here we go. Oops, regroup. That's funny. Regroup. I think I'll start over again. Let's go back a little. Opening part, it's so beautiful. That melody is just so gorgeous. It just sort of haunts you. I'm going to go back and play it again, and so you can hear it again. But oh my goodness, it's just bringing back that memory too. By the way, don't forget, friends, that I now have some member tiers, and I'm putting some pretty great things on there. So go check them out. There's a little video I made about them to give you an idea of what each tier is. But also, if you're enjoying what I do, give it a like. Give him a like later. I always have their video link in the notes. And subscribe. Here we go. We're going back a little to hear that beautiful intro. In all these little extras, that are bonus opportunity, that were never in the actual, the first one, I'm pretty sure, it's just throwing in. It's like it's like a riffing that the vocalist does, but on the guitar, it's so extraordinary. I don't know, comment, have you ever seen anybody move his fingers so fast as this guy? I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen it. Wow. Let's go back a little. like he's all over this thing. He's way up, he's to the middle, he's way down, he's back up again. I'm going back a little. I'm talking about where his fingers are on the neck there. Oh my. On another note, he must be such a great dad. I bet it's so great to be his child. You see all his stuff in the back for some little one that he has, and there's probably just music all around. If you're a little one, you must just be having a wonderful life. Oh my. Complicated that was. Let's go back and see that again when he fingers it way down at the end of that. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Oh, How delightful. How delightful was that? How delightful is he? My goodness. I'm not one to compare artists and say, oh, this one is better than that one. Well, that one's not as good. You should see that one. And so, because I think every artist brings their own special something to the table, whenever they do whatever they do, they're singing or their instruments or whatever. But this guy, I mean, I know, like, if you're a good solid guitar player, you're going, oh, what? You're going, how does he do that? This is something that the really good guitar players look up to and try to figure out how they could be as good as that. I mean, it's just unbelievable how he is with the guitar. So, oh, God bless his heart. And if you had to put this on our scale, 1 being very third dimensional, fear, pain, sadness, anger, and 10 being very fifth dimensional, love, peace, joy, bliss, fun, play, ease. The song itself has a sort of sadness to it because it's about someone still having the blues. But of course, in this rendition, we're not hearing the words. So the words might be present a little bit for us in the background, but they're not as poignantly sad and sort of they don't bring it down like if they were being sung. I remember watching it and being really, oh my God, this is so sad. But that's not that feeling now because you don't have the words actually coming at you, although you might sort of remember them a little bit. But the way he sang it with such beauty, and the melody is absolutely beautiful, and it just feels good to the cells of your body, to hear it. Oh, so he is up there on this song, I would say. And even with the words, and that the words are somewhat sort of lower vibrational, but still we're not thinking of that. We're thinking about how he did it. I'm going with like a 9 on this one as to what it pulls you to the fifth dimension. Now, we're not talking about how good he did it. Obviously, if this guy does anything, it's on a 1 to 10 chart. He's like off the chart. You don't have a chart that high. But, that part's extraordinary. But, as far as pulling you toward the fifth dimension, that's what I'm talking about. Wonderful. Just loved it. Loved it. Anyway, friends, if you'd like to know a little bit about me, you can go to the About Me video on this channel. And then there's another video about what I call my Forged in the Fire journey of this dimension. Go to that About Me video anyway, because it's not getting so many views, which brings down the views of the one after it. So go and look at that one. That little one, the short one, at least. And then there's also a link in the notes about the different things I've created. That's About Lorelei on Patreon, so you can look at that. And finally, if any of you, first of all, I'd like to thank those of you who have supported me, such as Buy Me a Coffee or the Super Thanks. Thank you so much. That's a big deal. Some of you have even given me donations on my site, which you can do as well. If any of you would like to do that, I am very appreciative of it, especially at this Christmas season where, there's a lot of money going out. Okay, beloved ones, let's get to our message. Okay, how does our consciousness overcome the very physical reality? See, that's what we're working toward. We're working toward our consciousness literally overcoming this physical reality we have here and changing it from a third dimensional reality, which has the wars and the pain and the suffering and the sadness and the lack and the scarcity and the anger and all of this, to the fifth dimensional reality, which is beauty, joy, love, harmony, everyone in abundance, everyone having opulence, fun, play, ease, all of that, We're looking to overcome that third dimensional physical reality and shift to the fifth dimensional reality. And things will show up in the fifth dimensional reality like physical, as we have here, a lake or a tree or whatever. However, it's not exactly the same chemical composition, so it's kind of malleable, so you can in an instant change things. You can in an instant, be at the lake and then shift and be at the seaside and then shift and have a tree and then shift and have an apple in your hand and then, shift and have some ice cream and then shift and, be some, on the top of a mountain, whatever. Like, it's malleable. You can bring up a reality up around you. That's exactly what you want to have. And the basis for the fifth dimensional physicality is more malleable than the third dimension, although the third dimension can also be shifted and changed, right? But it's not quite as easy. It's a lot more work. So what it takes, though, for either thing to happen is our consciousness. Our consciousness must literally be on point to spring something up that we want the way we want it. It must be on point. We must know who we are. We must realize that we are the divine sparks of God that can do anything. By the way, it's not us, of course. It's the mighty I am presence. That's what's very important for you to know. It's not, that's why Jesus said, it's not me, it's the Father within. So I say our consciousness, but in actuality, it's the divine consciousness of God flowing through us. This is the thing that we call the I am presence. And the I am presence is our gift from God, such that we, like God, when he said, let there be light, we, like God, can use our speaking and our thinking to spring up around us whatever it is we want. And that puts it into action. Our consciousness puts it into action. Now, this has been happening no matter what. We just haven't known it was happening. And so the things we have been thinking and saying have created a lot of the muck and the mire in our world that we have, the lack, the scarcity, the warring, the upsets, all of that, the poverty, all of that's been created by our consciousness and the words out of our mouth using that very powerful I am speaking to decree and declare all the muck and mire we don't want. But now, as we use that very powerful speaking and we begin to change that, and we are changing it, and we're declaring into being the beautiful world, as I say here, this world that works for everyone. That's a landmark worldwide term, but also, as I say personally, this love, this peace, this joy, this bliss, this fun, this play, this ease, this fifth dimensional harmonious reality. This is what we are creating here and now. And we are speaking it into existence. By the way, I'm doing this, the 33 discourses of Saint Germain, in the top tier of my membership tiers, which is where I'm bringing you things more along the lines of what will uplift you and empower you to uplift yourself. So we are using that same mighty consciousness that Jesus used when he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, or I am the way, the truth, and the light. He said both things at different times as we understand it. I am the resurrection and the life. Okay? When he said that, he was invoking the mighty I am consciousness that he is to spring up around him, that he is the way for people to see the way. He is the light for people to see the way. You see, he was literally calling forth that I am consciousness. And that's what we do. And we can use it. We've been using it to the detriment of humanity. Now we are beginning to use it to the benefit of humanity. This is what we're starting to do now. And let me tell you, this is the access to literally having the whole thing change. Now, the way this kind of works, just so you know scientifically, this is science. This is not frou-frou imagination stuff, although imagination is scientific. Let's just talk about that, because what did God do? He imagined. And then he said, let there be light. Then he imagined, worlds, planets, solar systems, galaxies, meteors, the whole business, and finally coming to the physical life that we have now. And many other things, by the way, not like that's the pinnacle, there's a lot more, So they created these things. And this was, how was this done? It was because when those words were spoken, it began to scientifically pull into being what was needed. So one of the things that was pulled into being were the very tiniest particles of matter called quarks. Quarks. And quarks, these very tiniest, much smaller than an atom, much smaller than a molecule, these tiny itsy bitsy bits of matter, they all are subject to the human consciousness, or the words out of our mouth and the thoughts in our head, right? They are literally driven by, they get their orders, so to speak, from consciousness. Not just human, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but the divine consciousness that we all humans have. Okay, all of us have that divine consciousness within us. So those quarks, they spring into matter, whatever kind of matter is wanted or needed based on our thoughts and the words out of our mouth. Okay? And first that started with the creator's thoughts, and then the words out of this, or I guess you didn't have words back then, but the sound or whatever was vibrating. Okay? So it started with that, and it came all the way down to us. And this is actually how we created this very physical reality. It was imagined. It was thought up. There was a consciousness about it. And then it was put into reality. And I know there is sound is involved in this, as a matter of fact, like frequency, like sound is involved, very heavily involved. It's part and parcel of how matter is created, because all matter, you can bring it down to its tiniest element and its frequency. It's those quarks at certain levels of frequency that cause matter coming together in different ways at those certain frequencies. That's what has matter spring about. So you see, what's very, very simple but not easy is we just, in order to have this whole new world spring up around us, we need to believe it, we need to speak it, and we need to stop speaking and believing anything third dimensional. Stop putting our faith in it, stop putting our trust in it, stop putting our divine focus on all of that. Even up to and including, I'm hating to say, but all the craziness in politics and all those videos where people are yelling and screaming and arguing and getting into fights and whatever, that's got to go. We need to stop putting our focus on that. Because the more we put our focus on it, the more it springs into being. That's how very powerful our divine consciousness is. And putting our focus on the love, the peace, the joy, the bliss. And once we have done this, and we've literally called those quarks into being at those certain frequencies that we want to create this matter the way we want it to be, okay? For the love, for the joy, for the harmony, for the peace, for the opulence, all of that. Once we have done that, and we got it all like wrought it into being, and we get to a certain point where enough of us are doing this, okay? That's what we call the tipping point. Enough of us, and a whole lot of us are doing this, then everything changes pretty darn quick, almost instantaneously, once we hit that tipping point. You see, so this I talked about also in my last video a little bit, so you can check that out. Well, let's see, which one was it? Now I'm trying to remember. But anyway, take a look in the notes of the last few videos I made, and you'll see what I'm speaking about. There's a little more on this topic. So, wow, this is like not so very far off, because people are actually starting to speak it. They're starting to know it. And the more and more and more of us that do that, and that you use our divine consciousness for this purpose, the more it springs forth. And if you want to have build your muscle in that, so to speak, and to work on that, you can join my top membership tier, because that's a great way for you to really dig your teeth into taking your divine power. I'm also doing a Abraham Hicks reading in there, which is very, very powerful for the same purpose. So it's not far, folks. It's on the way. And meanwhile, I'm going to send you it so you can feel that beautiful energy, the love, the fifth dimensional energy, the love, the peace, the joy, the bliss, the fun, the play, the ease, the that God can flow through you and is flowing through you for any purpose. Here it comes now. Namaste. I honor the God in you.